All right, good morning, guys. Let's get started. Everyone get settled in. Good morning, good morning. Great to see you all here on this lovely Tuesday. Hopefully you got a good start to your week going. We're going to try to help out a little bit with that with some great yoga this morning. So before we get moving and grooving, we're going to go ahead and come on to our backs just to get us warmed up, settle in for a little bit, and then we'll start getting into the hips. Let's find out a shape that can work for your body to settle into some stillness. You can either go legs long and feet turned out. If you'd like, maybe bending the knees, taking feet out to the edges of the mat and just letting the knees knock in towards each other is another option there. Whatever you can be, just to start to settle in, find a little stillness. You need to wiggle around, work out the jitters, go ahead and do that. As you start to settle in, start to connect with that breath in through the nose, nice and slow. And exhale out through the nose, nice and easy. As you start to find that rhythm of breath, just let that breath become a source of ease for the body. So seeing where you can start to soften this morning, starting in through the back of the jaw, into the throat, letting that breath start to expand and create space in the torso. Nice, slow exhale. Just feel the weight of your body drawing you to the earth, connecting you and grounding you. As you feel that breath come into the belly, let it soften through the belly, soften out through the side ribs and lungs. Let it start to cleanse and begin to release any physical grip you're holding in the body. So just notice if you're holding any tension in the face, soften the brow. Relax that throat, soften the collarbone. And as you release that physical grip in the body, also just let that breath and that focus of the rhythm of breath start to release the mental grip, anything you're holding on to in the mind. So for the next hour, there's nothing to accomplish or solve. Let go of any expectations for your practice. Anything that was happening before or after class, just let that be off the mat. And just tuning into the present moment. Just tuning into the sensations around you. Cool grass, maybe touching your fingertips or toes. Temperature on your skin. Song of the birds. And just making that commitment for the next hour just to be in the celebration of this moment alone. Just letting that union happen, the yoga, as we connect body and movement, as we connect with our true selves. Let's go with another rhythm of breath here, just nice and easy, in through the nose, back out, a nice, even, slow pace. All right, let's go ahead, blink those eyes open, starting to get some movement here. Let's go ahead, bring the knees up into the chest. So if you can wrap the hands just around below the kneecaps or grabbing for shins, maybe you can interlace fingers together. Just pull your shoulder blades down, connecting to the mat. And just a gentle rock side to side. Massage the low back. Keep that breath moving. Go ahead and keep the soles of the feet together and just let the knees go wide. You can reach your hands to the inside of the thighs, wrapping around, grabbing the shins, and then just draw the knees up and in. Start to feel that in the hips. Start to loosen and open up the inner thigh. Breathe into that space. As you pull the knees up and in, draw your tailbone back down so you feel that push and pull going on. And then maybe just adding some big circles with the knees. So just bringing knees back together, up and into the chest and letting them go wide, opening up, drawing them down and then back up and in, moving with the breath. Nice big inhale when you open up the hips wide or the knees wide, breathe into the pelvis, and then just switch direction. Right, let the feet come down, keep those knees bent. We'll take the right ankle and just cross it over the knee. I'm going to thread the needle through. So figure 4, reaching through, drawing that knee in towards the ribs, starting to feel that stretch on the outer hip. A little gentle rock side to side. If you want a little bit more in the stretch, you can go ahead and grab that bent leg and just draw it in towards the ribs a little bit more, maybe extending out through the opposite leg. Only do what feels good. Modify your practice. Everything IQ this morning is a suggestion. So if it doesn't feel good, you don't have to do it. Don't worry about what the person next to you is doing. Just find out that shape that works for your body this morning. All right, one more big breath into that hip. All right, so we're gonna take that knee where the bent ankle is. We're just gonna slide it across. We're gonna stack the knees up as much as you can. You're gonna take the feet out to the edges of the mat. Maybe you can grab a hold of the outer edges of those feet. Just draw them out sideways. If you can't get a hold of the feet, maybe you're just grabbing for calves or shins. Maybe you're just reaching for the knee and just drawing both knees into the chest. So just a little bit deeper into that outer hip. Little rock side to side. You have those feet, you can kind of pull one foot one way and then the other way. One more breath here. And then just go ahead and unwrap everything, bring everything back to center. A little rock of the hips side to side, just balance everything back out. And then second side, crossing over, ankle above the knee, thread the needle through, draw it in, grab for the back of the thigh, you can grab for that shin, start to draw that knee in towards the chest, feeling that stretch on the outer hip. We'll rock side to side if you'd like. Maybe drawing and pulling that knee in a little bit more and extending the opposite leg out if you like. One more breath here. All right, we'll go and slide that top leg over across a little bit deeper, stacking both knees up as much as you can get it. Maybe grabbing for those outer edges of the feet, drawing them out to the edges of the mat, go side to side, back and forth, breathe. Drawing the knees up and in a little bit deeper. All right, one more cycle of breath here. Nice, slow exhale. Go ahead and unwind yourself, everything back into center. Draw the knees up and in one more time. We're gonna make our way into a tabletop. So any way that feels good. If you'd like to roll up and down your spine, give a little spinal massage, you can go ahead and do that. If you'd like to just roll off to one side, you can go ahead and do that. Take your time, go ahead and set your foundation up nice and strong. So we have fingertips spread nice and wide with the thumbs facing in towards each other. Line those shoulders right up over the wrist and our hips lined up over the knees. Go ahead and tap the tops of the feet, just kind of wake up the anchor points here. Press those toes and the tops of the feet into the mat. We start to rock through some cat-cow. So drop your belly down, lift your tailbone. Nice little scoop of the mid back here. Gaze is up and out. Take a big sip of air in through the nose. And on that exhale, push the mat away and pull the middle of your back up. Stretch out those shoulder blades and scapula so there's no space in between them as you draw the gaze down and in. And then rocking back, tailbone up, belly drops, breathe. Sinking breath with movement, exhale, contract, push it away. Inhale, gaze forward. Pause anywhere where it feels good. Work at your own pace. Add on anything else that feels good. Maybe you're rocking hips side to side. You want to circle out the hips, looking back towards the feet. We do a lot of hip movement and opening this morning. work up towards an eagle pose a little bit later on, or a variation of eagle. Everything back in the center. We're going to go ahead and tuck the toes under. Start to work your hips back towards those heels. Start to lift up in the knees, coming into a little bit of a crouch here. Stretch out, press into the heels. Lift up in your hips, coming into downward dog. Readjust the hands if you need to, maybe walking them forward a little bit. Check in with those elbows. We don't want the elbows out. So rotate the elbows in, spin the creases of your arms forward. A nice inhale, come up onto the tiptoes and shorten up your stance, pedal out your dog, wake up those calves and hamstrings. On your next inhale, lift up onto your tiptoes, lift up in those heels, lift up your tail, take a big breath in there. And then on that exhale, just send the heels down any amount as you pull your heart space back towards your thighs. Nice long spine. Modify at any point. If you need to take a break, come down to your knees, drop into a child pose, catch back up with us wherever we are. All right, nice big inhale here. On the exhale, just going to walk up towards the top of the mat where the hands are. Draw your thigh bones back, press into your shins and reach the crown of your head forward. Shift the weight into the toes, back into the heels. Start to feel that stretch in through the calves, up into those hamstrings. Bend and straighten the knees. Rock those hips a little bit side to side. Go ahead and bend into the knees. We're going to root to rise nice and slow. Start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Up, bring the hips slightly forward. It's a little gentle back bend here. Think about stretching and opening the front of the body as opposed to bending at the back. A little sway side to side. So cactus those arms, draw the elbows down the back, squeeze them in and pinch the center of the shoulders together. Press the hips a little bit more forward. Take a nice big breath in, broaden and open through the collarbones and chest. Inhale, lift back up and grab for opposite elbow. Pull the elbows up to the sky as you drop down in your weight in your heels and hips. Take a towards the mat so you feel your spine become a little bit longer, and then just relax and release anything you're holding in the neck. Shake it side to side, yes and no. Wiggle your jaw. Soften and release here for a moment. Bend into those knees. Inhale, start to root to rise all the way back up. Inhale, lift up at the top. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, open up nice and wide. Hips come slightly forward, open that chest. Take your fingertips and just work, come back, press into the heels of your hands so you feel that stretch in the arm. Deep breath in. On the exhale, we're just gonna wrap around. Give yourself a little hug and work those fingertips around the shoulder blade. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, draw your chin in towards the chest, spread out through the back. Nice big breath into the center of the back here. One more cycle, just like that. Nice, slow exhale out. Start to bring the head back up. We're gonna go ahead and take the arms and we're just gonna wrap around into an eagle pose here. So wrapping arm underneath. If you can grab a hold and get the bind, go ahead and do that. If you can't do that, you can kind of just use that arm underneath and just pull the arm across. What we're looking to do is open the sides of those shoulders up. Inhale, lift up in the arms nice and tall. Nice big breath in here. On the exhale, start to draw the elbows back into the chest. Stay here if you like a little bit more. Maybe hinging, folding forward. Pull hips back As you fold down and in, sway a little side to side, a little bend in the knees if you need to. One more cycle of breath wherever you are. Bend into those knees, root to rise, release, take it back up. Deep breath in at the top. Find length and lift up through the side ribs as we drop into the heels. Deep breath in there. Exhale, cactus the arm. Open the chest, hips a little bit forward. Inhale, open up. Fingertips back, press out through those heels and the hands. Deep breath in here. Exhale, cross opposite elbow on top. So whatever you did before, fingertips around the back. Nice big breath in here. Draw the chin in towards the chest. Open up. Nice big breath into the center of the back. Inhale brings you back up. And we'll go ahead and take that bind. I did the opposite. Inhale, lift up in those elbows. Nice big breath in. Exhale, draw elbows in towards the chest. Nice big breath in here. Stay here, lifted, or if you like, hinge and fold down in it. Deep breath in there. Nice slow exhale. Let everything go. Bend those knees. Inhale, root to rise all the way back up. Deep breath at the top. Exhale, swan dive, hinge and fold, hips back, crown forward, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift, thighs back, crown forward, sinking breath with movement, making a moving meditation. Deep breath in, exhale, hinge and fold down. Plant those hands, let's take a big step back, one leg and then the other. Pause here in plank pose. Modify your plank if you need to, just by letting the knees come down, but keep the belly engaged. Drawing belly button up and in, so you're not sinking into the shoulders. So press up out of the shoulders, press into the heels, reach the crown of your head forward, take a breath in here. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Pause here for a round of breath. Pedal out your dog if you need to. Creating a little bit more length, lifting those heels. Exhaling, pulling heart space back as you descend heels down any amount. Right, left leg goes up and back, three-legged dog. Press out through your heel, flex your toes. And then go ahead and bend and open up the hips. So just let the knee bend, let the heel be heavy here, and just let the weight of the heel open up through the hips. Breathe into that space. Circle out the leg or just circle the ankle a little bit. Inhale, square the hips back off, three-legged dog, deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to take that back leg, swing it all the way forward towards the front of the mat. Take your time. If it stops short, inch it forward. We want it up by the hands, and we want that ankle right underneath that front knee. Okay? We're going to drop the back foot. We're going to come up into a warrior one. So back foot is about 45-degree ankle. If you can get the heel down, great. If you need to have the toe popped up, that's available as well. All right. Build your foundation nice and strong through the legs. Drawing the energy up and in through the thighs. Start to sink into that front knee. Inhale, lift up the arm. The weight of our body in the lower half is dropping up through the ribs as we extend out through the fingertips and just feel that push and pull going on through the body. Breath uniting these two forces at work. Nice deep breath in. Cactus those arms, open up. So I take that left arm forward. And take the opposite arm and do those eagle arms again. So wrapping underneath. Grab a hold of the palms together, great. Otherwise, you can just have the arms like so. Inhale, lift up nice and tall, deep breath in. Exhale, sink into that front knee. One more breath in here. Stay here if you like. Otherwise, starting to hinge and fold forward to the inside of that front leg. Dropping that left shoulder to the inside, drawing elbows up and in, getting a nice back stretch here, getting into that left inner thigh, building strength, opening up. Your core strength, start to bring yourself back up nice and slow. Deep breath in at the top. Release the body. Inhale the arms. We'll go ahead and lift up the back heel and just turn the toe in. Crescent lunge here. Balance, palms to heart center. Charge up the front leg. We're going to take a big step forward. Drop into your chair pose. Utkatasana. So drop the tail, lift up through the chest, squeeze the inner thighs together. Activate. Wonderful. Deep breath in. Exhale, hinge and fold. Halfway lift, thighs back, round forward. That's big breath in here. Exhale, fold down. Pause here for a cycle of breath. Exhale, plant those hands. Big step back, one foot and then the other. Pause and plank pose. Modify that plank if you need to. If you need a child's pose, go ahead and take that and just catch back up. Deep breath in here, belly active. Pressing up out of the shoulder. Push all the way back, downward facing dog. Right, second side. Let's go three-legged dog. Right leg up and back. Flex the toes, press out through the heel, and then go ahead and stack and open up those hips. Circle out the leg or ankle if you like. Breathing, stretching, opening up. Square the hips back off by extending that leg up and back. Nice deep breath in here. Exhale, we're going to send it forward. Press the mat away so you create some space for that leg to land. You need to drop down for a minute to reposition. Go ahead and do so. Build your foundation for Warrior One nice and strong. Front knee over that ankle. Back heel down if you can get it. Start to sink down in the low body. Start to lift up in the top of the body. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, cactus move. Let's go right arm forward. Left arm takes the wrap underneath. Lift up in those elbows. Deep breath in. Sink down into the lunge. Press into your front big toe to seal down that anchor. Back heel. Nice big breath in. Stay here. Or if you like, starting to hinge and fold forward. Dropping that shoulder to the inside of that knee. Breathe. One more breath. Core strength. Start to draw back up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Go ahead and turn that back toe and just lift up into the heel. Charge up that front leg. Nice big step forward. Drop into our chair pose. Tail drops. Chest opens. Deep breath in. Squeezing everything in through the belly, inner thighs, like you're squeezing a blocking. Inhale, lift all the way up. Slide palms down to heart center for a moment. Close the eyes. Let everything settle here for a moment in the body. Let that energy just cascade down from the top of your head through your heart space. Let the heartbeat settle back into the chest. Relax the ribs, regain that rhythm of breath. Just noticing how the body feels. One more cycle. Nice, slow exhale out. Second time through the sequence. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. Exhale, send you down. Moving meditation. Inhale, halfway lift, thighs back, ground forward. Exhale, fold and drop. Plant those hands. Step it back. Plank pose or modified plank. Inhale here. Exhale, push back down. Left leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Open up the hips. Big breath into the pelvic bowl here. Inhale, square the hips back off. Three-legged dog. Deep breath in there. Exhale, send it all the way forward. This time we're going to drop the back heel and coming to warrior two. The back edge of the back foot. Now even with the back of the mat. Check in with those legs. They like to kind of roll and drop in towards each other. We want them opened up as much as you can so you can physically roll your inner thighs outwards. Let's take the arms up. Deep breath in, lift up. Exhale, sink in warrior two. Sinking into that front knee, active in that front leg. All right, you take that front arm, take it right in front of the face. You're gonna take that eagle arm bind one more time. Inhale, lift up in those elbows. Exhale, drop into the floor. Stay here if you like a little more. Deep breath in. Exhale, start to tip, fold down in it. Keep the inner thighs working here. Belly's working here. Even those points are engaged, we want to be breathing. One more cycle. Inhale brings you back up, nice and slow. Release the bind, warrior two. Let's go and flip that front arm. Draw it down and like a nice big circle all the way up, up, up. Then reaching back behind you, sink into that front knee a little bit deeper, reverse warrior. Palm down the back leg, elbow bend and at the low back, wherever you need support. Keep the belly working, but keep breathing. One more cycle. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Big step forward, or maybe a couple small ones, whatever you need to get there. Halfway lift, wipe the slate clean. Exhale, drop down. Bend those knees, root to rise, nice and slow. Exhale, palms back to heart center. Let everything go for a minute, give it a little shake out. Off you go. All right, so hopefully hips and shoulders are starting to feel pretty open. So we're going to work our way into an eagle pose or whatever variation of eagle pose is good for you today. So go ahead and have the feet about hip width distance. Really drop down into your toes. So spread them out. Press your foot so it stretches from the base all the way to the tips, nice and grounded. Palms towards heart center just for a minute. And just use those pressing the palms together to kind of zip all the energy up into the heart space, the center line of the core, lifting up through that crown of the head nice and tall. Pausing here and just feeling balance. A little shift into the toes, back into the heels, into the sides of the feet. All right, let's start with the arms. Let's go ahead and go left arm forward for you guys. Wrap underneath. Press the palms together, lift up. I'm just gonna sink down into a little chair first. Don't go all the way down, just kind of starting to drop down in the tail. Shift your foot, your weight into your left foot and just come into a little kickstand on the other foot. This might be your eagle. This might be all you're gonna do today. Maybe if you can start to come up a little bit off that toe, start to bring that knee up, maybe crossing it across, connecting with the other. If you fall out of it, just Come back into it, graceful as you can. Maybe sinking into that tail a little more. Wrap that toe around the back. Go ahead and do so. That can be definitely a lot on the hips. Lift up in your elbow. Sink into your tail. So open up the chest so you're not folding forward. Beautiful. Stay for another breath. Shaking's good. Smiling's good. Inhale, start to lift up, release, place it back down, let it go, shake out the legs. Wonderful job, everybody. All right, back to the top of the mat. We're going to flow through that second sequence, and then we'll do the third side. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, send you down. Halfway lift, find length. Exhale, let it go. One breath here, forward fold. Plant those hands. Big step back, plank pose, modified plank. Child's pose if you need it. One breath here, push back, downward facing. Right leg up and back. Stack and open up the hips just for a breath. Inhale, square the hips back off. Leg goes long. Deep breath in there. Exhale, send it forward. Drop the back heel. Warrior two. Bring yourself up nice and slow. Checking with those inner thighs. Roll them open. Open up the chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sink. Squeeze of the inner thighs, kind of drawing up and in. So lifting up in the pelvic floor here as you sink down. Take that front arm, we'll take it over. Take your eagle arm wrap. Inhale, lift up on those elbows. Bottom in towards the chest, stay there, or if you like, start to hinge and fold forward. Belly working here. One more breath. Nice, slow exhale out. Core strength. Bring yourself back up. Unwind. First warrior, nice and slow. Big circle, up, up, up. Reach up towards the heavens. Start to tip it back. Sink into that front knee a little bit deeper. One more cycle. Exhale, release. Windmill hands down. Spin the back heel. Step it forward. You know the drill. Halfway lift. Exhale, drop. Bend those knees. Nice and slow. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Let everything go. Shake out. We'll set up for that second side. Always one side a little bit more challenging in that balance. My sunglasses. There you go. All right. Check in with those anchors. Kind of balance everything out in the legs and hips. Palms into that center line. Press into those palms. Zip everything up. A little tuck of the lower ribs kind of down and in here. So the ribs like to open up kind of like a car hood, especially when you're lifting up in the upper body. So just a little tuck of those down and in, kind of firming up between the abdomen and the hips. Breathing. Right. Let's go ahead and start to drop. Oh, arms first, right? Arm out in front of you. Go ahead and take the wrap. Start to sink down into your tail. Knee starts to come up, maybe just coming onto that little kickstand. Lift up in the knee, a little balance, maybe crossing over it. Drop down a little bit more. Tuck behind if you can. Fall out of it. Just come out. Work your way back in nice and slow. Lift up in the elbows, the chest, sink into your tail a little deeper. One more breath. Inhale up. Release. Let it all. Are you doing okay? Good. Nope, terrible. All right. Back to the top. Let's float out one more time. We'll start to wind everything down. Get some stretches here. Deep breath in, guys. Exhale, lower down. Halfway. Roll in. Plant those hands. One last plank pose. Hold that plank just because it's the last one. One more breath. Exhale, lower down knees, chest, chin, all the way down to the top. Rock side to side. Equal out the hips. Take the toes and just reach them back beyond the mat. So we create as much contact with our low body as we possibly can. You can make a little pillow here for the head. Stack one arm on top of the other. Turn your cheek to one side. Just take a moment here and just breathe into this space. Soften the ribs. On the exhale, just let the weight of your body draw all the air out through the nose. So your back, lift up on that next inhale. Soften and connect with the earth on the exhale. Next inhale, just drawing energy up from the earth into your heart space. Exhale, connecting and grounding down a little bit more on the next exhale. All right, let's go ahead and bring head back to center. We're going to slide the arms right alongside the leg too. We're going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and reach the fingertips back towards the heels as you start to lift up through the chest. Keep the legs active here. So you're pressing into the pelvis. Squeeze your inner thighs together to activate. So you strengthen and open up through the low back. Lift up a little bit more. Reach back to those heels. Big breath into the low to mid back here. Exhale, release. Hands back to underneath the face. Turn your head to the opposite side. Relax the back. You can also bend the knees and just windshield wiper side to side. Head back to center. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. So slide those arms down the legs. Roll the shoulders up and back. So you open up to the front of the body. Reach back. This time, if you want a little bit more, charge those legs up. Maybe float the legs up. Maybe interlace the palms together. Draw the knuckles down the back and pull the elbows together. Feel any pinching in the low back, anything sharp, come out of that immediately. Listen to the body. Find your edge. Breathe into that space. Approach these stretches from a place of compassion instead of forcing. One more breath wherever you are. Exhale, let it go. Bend the knees. Windshield wiper the leg. Right. Slide those palms right underneath the shoulder. Start to press ourselves up. Go all the way back into a nice child's pose. With toes to touch here, knees can go wide. If you've had enough on the hips and you're like, stop torturing me, you can go knees together and just slide the palms alongside the hips. Grab for the heels as well. So whatever variation of child's pose, or you can just find a little bit of surrender and release. Hips back towards those heels. Drop the crown of the head down. Just let everything settle in for a moment. One more breath, nice and easy. Come back up to the head. Go ahead and bring the knees back towards the center. Just balance out the hips. Everything back, equally out. Lock those hands forward. We're going to tuck the toes. We're going to push back into downward facing dog. Deep breath in here. On the exhale, we're just going to step forward and then just come all the way down onto the up. All right. Let's take the legs nice and wide here. Take a moment, just roll the shoulders back, reach back behind the hips. If you can, maybe lifting up and then just pressing out through the heel so you just create a little bit more opening on the inner thigh. Have the knees bend as much as you need to. We're going to take a nice inhale and lift up, reach through those fingertips. Keep the toes active here so the toes are drawing back towards the kneecap. Big breath in. Exhale, just reach forward as much as you can. Then just let the fingertips fall down wherever they may. Little gentle sway side to side. Putting as much of a bend in those knees or straightening them out as much as it feels good. The inner thighs will let you know. One more breath. Start to walk hands back up and in, crown of the head comes up with it. Let's go ahead and reach over to that left leg and just give us a little bit of help. Let's go ahead and pull that heel towards the inside. Lift up nice and tall one more time. Active in that foot. Press out through the heel. Toes come back towards you. Deep breath in here. Exhale, just hinge and fold out. Take your time, breathe into these stretches, don't force anything. So kind of find that edge where you definitely feel that tightness. Back off in that space, breathe into that space. And then on the exhale, sink back into that stretch a little bit more. So it's a nice, compassionate, easy stretch as opposed to, let me just crank into this thing, force it, forcing the muscles. Use that breath to open up, find your edge, and settle. One more breath. Walk everything back in nice and easy. We're going to grab for that knee. We're just going to lift it up. We're going to kind of turn our body forward towards that extended leg. You're going to draw that heel in, the left heel in towards the inner thigh. You're going to stay here for the twist series, or if you like a little bit more, cross it over the leg. Okay? If you like a little bit more, take that extended leg and bring it in. So we've got kind of three options. Be on the inside, over the top, bring that heel in. Wherever you are, kind of grab into that leg and lift up in the chest. Lift up and pull the low back in. We don't want to be rounded in the spine as we're twisting. So lift up as tall as you can in your seat, crown of the head like someone's drawing you up to the sky. Chest lifted. Inhale. Take it all the way up, as much length as you can find in the torso, up through the side ribs. Deep breath in. Start to round around, pull that knee in, reach back behind you. Before you twist again, pull the low back in, lift up in your chest. Take a deep breath in here. And then on that exhale, start to twist from the base of the spine all the way through your shoulder. Crown of the head looking back over that shoulder last, stretching all the way out, looking at through the corner of your eye. And you can work with the breath here. You can kind of back off on the inhale a little bit, lift back up, fill everything back up, exhale, twist a little bit deeper. tend to start to get into this twist, and then we start holding the breath. So kind of work back and forth out of the twist, fill up, back into it. One more cycle wherever you are. Just a little deeper on that exhale. Unwind. Release. Inhale, lift back up. Let's take the open twist. So that was a closed twist. So now we're just going to reach the other way. You can press that elbow or forearm into that inner knee or inner thigh. Open back up in the chest. Deep breath in, lift up. Exhale, twist all the way up into the shoulders. Crown of the head goes flat. Breath in here, lift up nice and tall. Track, squeeze on the exhale. One more side. Release. Think back to center. Uncross wherever you are. Legs go wide. Inhale up. Exhale down. Big breath into the back. Gentle exhale out. Everything back into center. We'll set up for that second side. Underneath that leg, help it out. Foot in towards the inner thigh. Active in that extended foot. Deep breath in here, guys. Exhale, fold. Always gonna have one side a little tighter. Find your edge. Breathe into that space. Sink on the exhale. One more cycle, wherever you are. Take your time. Start to walk fingertips back, up and in. Turn everything over towards that extended leg. We're going to bring that knee up. And then whatever option you did on that opposite side. So leg on the inside, leg over. Long leg comes in, wherever you like. Again, check in with yourself. Make sure you're not rounding in the spine. Lift up in the heart. Pull the low back in. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Press into your tailbone as you lift through your crown. Inhale. Lift up through those side ribs. Grow up nice and tall. Nice and slow. Exhale. Start to twist. Wrap around. Lift up in the heart. Twisting from the bottom up through the top. One more cycle of breath here, nice and slow. Exhale, just squeeze and twist a little bit more. Squeeze your lower belly, down it in. So any stale, stagnant breath you're holding on to, it's like a sponge being wrung out. That gives you a nice, big amount of space on that next inhale to fill back up. Unwind nice and slow. Let's go. Inhale, lift up. Open twist. So that arm just kind of hooking on the inside to open up and spin the chest open. Lift up in your chest. Lift up in your crown. Twist. Look over the shoulder. Everybody's back looks really good here. Everybody thinks you can't do these twists. You can't get into some of these shapes, but just work with the body and create as much opening. Get into these deeper twists, deeper fold. One more breath, maybe back off just a little here. Fill up that sponge. Exhale, a nice slow ring out. All the way down into the low belly, squeeze it out. Nice big breath in, start to release, unwind everything. All right, let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together. Just start to slide those heels in towards the pelvis any amount. A little rock side to side in the hips. Grab a hold of those ankles. Pull your heart space forward. Pull the low back in. Lift up in your heart. Lift up in your crown. Just breathe into the inner thighs here. Soften, release, surrender. Close the eyes for a moment. Nice, slow breath in through the nose. Feel it come all the way down. Circle into the lowest part of your belly and back out nice and slow. So one more cycle, just like that. Go ahead and reach for those outer legs or outer knees. Draw them up and in. Extend legs out nice and long in front of you. A little rock side to side of the hips. Get in front of those sit bones. Active in those feet. Press out through the heels. Toes are coming back in towards us. Lift up nice and tall. Deep breath in here. On the exhale, start to reach forward as much as you can. And then just let the fingertips fall. Maybe they grab a hold of the feet. Maybe you're on shins. Maybe you're on thighs. Not about how far you get down and in. Just let the chin drop. Big breath in. Nice, gentle exhale out. One more breath here. Gentle exhale. Walk fingertips back up and in. Go ahead and bend into the knees. Go ahead and drop back onto the back. All right, let's go ahead and draw the knees back up and into the chest. Just a little rock side to side. Let go of anything you're holding in those hips. Inner thigh, go back. Squeeze both knees up and in, and then we'll keep the right knee tucked in and we'll extend the left leg long. You want to take the left arm out, right arm out to a T, and then take the left arm on the knee itself, the right knee, and then start to draw it across the body. Your shoulder blades pin down as much as you can. Let the knees draw over, feel that stretch going through the low back. If you'd like to intensify a little bit more, maybe looking back out towards that right hand. You want a little bit more straightening out through the top leg. So right leg, press out through the heel. Just as we were doing in that seated twist, you can kind of work with that breath. So back off a little bit, fill everything up, create space. Then on the exhale, draw the knee across a little bit deeper, hold the shoulder blades back down. Let the weight of the body and the breath do the work for you. So one more cycle of breath here. If that top leg's extended, you can bend back into the knee. Gaze is over towards that right arm. Bring head back to center. And then just bring everything back into the center, knees back into chest, gentle rock side to side. Balance everything back out. Take a moment, stare up at that beautiful blue sky. Right, knees back up and in. Left knee stays as the right leg extends out. Left arm goes out to its teeth, and then that right arm helps guide that knee across the body. Pull the shoulder blades back down. Open the chest. Twist in, and then any option you like there. Looking back towards that extended arm. Straightening that top leg is going to add a little bit more intensity in that low back stretch. Feel it going up through the IT band, into the sciatica. Breathe into that space, back off, fill up, gently wringing out the sponge, nice and slow. One more breath wherever you are. Just a little deeper on that exhale. Let everything go. Gently start to unwind from the crown of your head all the way down to the low back. Everything back into center. Just go ahead and extend the legs up nice and long to the sky. Reach the fingertips around the back of the thigh. Press into your heels. Flex the toes. Up to the sky, back down towards you. Circle out the ankles. And then we'll end on a happy baby. Just let the knees go wide. Reach for those outer edges of the feet. Inner thighs, hips should be feeling nice and open by this point. Gentle rock. Draw the knees down towards the armpits. Pull your tailbone down and rock side to side on your sacrum, on your low back. One more big breath into the lowest part of your belly. And ready, let it all go. Set yourself up for Shavasana. Extend the legs long out in front of you. Part the legs so that the heels come out to the edges of the mat. Just let the toes fall outwards. And let that opening travel from the ankles up into the legs, up into the pelvis and hips. We'll just take a few moments here to just soften, surrender, and just be with that energy that you created. Feel it settling into the corners of the body we don't pay enough attention to. Emotionally, physically, wherever you need it. Instead of just being in stillness and checking out, just continuing to check in, noticing how you're feeling. Notice if you're holding anything in the face, in that jaw. Soften the brow, soften the tiny muscles around the eye sockets. Relax the collarbone, soften the belly, kneecaps. Before you enter back into your busy day, just take a few moments in stillness and quiet. Just connecting with that true self, the self that doesn't need to control anything, accomplish anything, or compare. Just be at one with the moment. Allow me to call you back in a few moments. Yogis, let's begin to gently deepen that breath. Bring that sensation back into the body, nice and easy. Wiggle the jaw, turn the head side to side, moisten the lips, raise the eyebrows, stretch out through fingers and toes. Taking a nice full body stretch by reaching fingertips up and back, hooking those thumbs, reach as far back beyond the mat as you can. Slide the ankles towards each other, flex and draw the toes out over the edge of the mat. Nice big breath into that heart space, feeling it open, receiving that breath. And then on that exhale, knees back up into the chest, give yourself a little final hug here, maybe draw nose up into knees. And when you're ready, take your time. Maybe rolling off to one side, pause with a hand on the earth connection. Keep the gaze soft or the eyes closed, and we'll meet in a comfortable seated position when you're ready. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Just slide the palms back on your thighs. Pull the elbows back and in just a little bit. Just open the chest. Press down into your thighs. Feel that weight drop in your hips. Ground it in your tailbone. Feel the crown of your head light and lifted. Nice long spine. These two opposing forces are united by that breath, flowing between the two, connecting, unifying. Inhale, arms out, reach out those fingertips nice and wide, lift it up, bring the gaze along, look up towards the sky. Big breath in here. Exhale, slide those palms down into the heart. Take a moment here to bow to within. Thank yourself for doing the best thing you can do is show up for your self-healing, self-exploration. Always an honor for me to join you, guide you, and be a part of this practice every week. From my heart to yours, have a wonderful day. Take this energy with you, share it with others. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys. Good to see you all. Have a wonderful week. See you next week.